Hello everyone, it's Redmond's Football Report, and it's been a long time we've been doing this series.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're new
Take
to the
your
show,
chocolatey hands off me.
myself is Redmond, and this is my father, Martin.
And how are you doing today, Redmond? And what are we feasting on? Oh God, the mess. What are we feasting on?
We're doing something. If you're old to the show and you know it, we're basically doing something new.
Yes, I was going to talk about what you're eating right now.
A chocolate egg.
And why are you eating a chocolate egg? What do you think this is for?
Eating chocolate.
Chocolate sweets. I'm really allergic to chocolate. So somebody's just smearing chocolate over everything in my room. Please use that on your awful filthy fingers as well. There we go. It's the week after Easter. Did you have a good Easter? What was the best thing about Easter?
Having a hunt for the Easter eggs.
Having a hunt for the Easter eggs. Well, we'll have to take that as read. We are now... What starts again tonight?
The champions.
It is indeed the Champions League. So we have quite a few previews to go. I'm going to try and dance through them as fast as possible. We're going to start off, as we normally do, with the results of the week just gone. And you can see there's one at the bottom. You'll understand what that's about in a little bit. But we'll start at the top. So Al-Merrikh and ALeague drew 2-2. Simba beat AS Vita 4-1. Those were both in the African Champions League Group A, and that means that ALeague and Simba both go through with a game to spare. Simba have been very impressive this year, but I think that victory sort of symbolises everything they've been doing everywhere.
Melbourne Victory get a win of
second place Brisbane Roar. Yeah, third place Melbourne Victory won 6-2 against Brisbane Roar, and probably one of the most exciting games of the weekend. I'd say that's our game of the week. What would you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was looking fairly even up till half time. Then boom, Melbourne Victory just strode away. Meanwhile, top placed Sydney are going to be playing Melbourne Victory in the final. They beat Canberra 3-0.
And I think they're fourth.
Canberra were fourth and very forgettable. In the Finnish Cup, not the Irish Cup, I never corrected those things. Blast. JK after extra time with a goal from Arthur Hoskonen in, I think, the 115th minute. They go through to the semi-finals, as well as HJK, Honka of Espoo, and who's the other team that went through? Oh, I knew this a few minutes. Coops of Kuopio. So that's the lineup. I don't know who's playing who yet, but that's what's going to happen in the Finnish Cup. Derry City lost 2-1 to Waterford, having gone a goal down by half-time. They got one back, and we were all going, that's that, when we got a penalty, which we missed, but converted the rebound. Good man. Good lads, Waterford. And a nice kit as well. Torino were ahead and then came from behind to draw 2-2 with Juventus. I can't remember which way around it was, but it was not an impressive performance from Juve. There is rumours that Pirlo's getting his marching orders if there isn't an improvement against Napoli.
Arsenal.
But there's been so many rumours.
Does not do well against Liverpool, losing 3-0.
Yeah, a 3-0 win to Liverpool. Liverpool maybe back in action properly again at last.
Barcelona gets a 1-0 win against
Valladolid. Yes, they scored that goal on the 90th minute from Ousmane Dembele. It was not a very impressive game either.
Athletic Club beat Real.
No, they lost.
1-0 against Real Sociedad.
Yes, that was the Copa del Rey final from 2020. This is a weird year. Athletic Club are in the Copa del Rey final from 2020 and from 2021, both in the month of April. They're playing Barcelona in the other one, and they're on course to make it an historic, losing 2 cup finals in 1 year. What's also added interest and exciting is Athletic Club and Real Sociedad are both from the Basque country, which is the first cup final in Spain that is both Basque teams. So that, I think, was pretty significant and noteworthy. Well, those are our results.
Blues, I think the blue one should be basically ones we forget.
That is exactly my thinking, because there'll always be a game that I miss or I forget, and I see it afterwards and I go, oh, I missed that.
And you then put it down. So, folks, if you see a blue game, that was a forgetted game.
That's absolutely correct.
So let's get into this.
So we're going to start. We're going to do it in 3 sections. The first section is the Europa League. The third section is the Champions League, both in Europe, and the middle section is sort of hodgepodge of other odd games worth note and that we've picked as favourites. So starting up in the first. Oh, I'm going to have to scrouch down here to look at this. So we have 4 games. Ajax play again. First of 2 legs. The second legs of all European games are taking place next midweek. We have Ajax against Roma, Arsenal against Slavia Prague, Dinamo Zagreb against Villarreal, and Granada against Manchester United. So you can see there's 2 English teams, 2 Spanish teams, and we've got a Dutch, Italian, Chechen, and I can't even think of the name of the place, a Croatian team there. So 2 Slavic teams through to the quarterfinals. It's always good to see a mix and a variety from all over Europe. So, our preview, Redmond. We're going to very quickly talk about these teams, and I want your thoughts. Ajax Roma is probably the best game this round in the Europa League, possibly in either the European competitions. Ajax had been in the Champions League in the same group as Liverpool and Atalanta. Roma were in the Europa League. Both sides have been playing good football and they were oozing class. I would recommend keeping an eye out for Tadic on the Ajax team, or Mkhitaryan, or if he doesn't start, maybe Pellegrini on the Roma side. Arsenal, Slavia Prague. Slavia have been notable for the racist issue against Rangers. Don't get me wrong, I'm always happy to see Rangers go out, but not with like racist crap taking place. That is not acceptable in any way or world, in my opinion. Arsenal are talked up a lot, and they have a fairly easy route to the semi-finals facing Slavia Prague, in my opinion. The David Luiz injury should help them, but they haven't won in 3 games and they're 10th in the English table. Meanwhile, the last time that Slavia Prague lost a game was against Bayer Leverkusen in the group stages, and they've only lost 3 games all year, all in Europe, against Beersheva, Leverkusen, and I can't remember who the other team was. Dinamo Zagreb against Villarreal. Zagreb are still neck and neck with Osijek in Croatia at the top, although they have a game in hand. While Villarreal are actually still up in 6th in La Liga. I thought they'd drop down by now, surely. They have they're still in a Europa League spot if they hold their position. They're not going to get into the Champions League. The top 4 in Spain are pretty much guaranteed of that. But it is looking very much like Villarreal maybe chasing Champions League through this. Unai Emery has a great record in the Europa League. He's gotten to the final numerous times between Arsenal and Sevilla. The fourth of the games is Granada against Manchester United. So we have the probable favourites against the Spanish outsiders. Man United are clearly the favourites because they're the biggest name, they've got the most money, and I still don't think they're going to do it. But I've been wrong so many times before, I have every confidence I'll be wrong again. That said, they've only won 2 home games in Europe this season, against Istanbul Başakşehir and against RB Leipzig. This is not a good record. They didn't beat Milan at home in the last round, but Milan is a decent team. Their best wins have come on the road, so this might be a good chance for them. Granada have lost 3 games, lost the last 3 games, I should say, and they're currently in 9th. Getting to the quarterfinals is an amazing performance for them. Getting to the semi-finals will be even better. They're playing with house money, as they say.
Getting to the finals?
Unbelievable and impossible. So, Redmond, let's have a look at the scores. Ajax against Roma, what do you think?
I think Ajax can do something against them, but not that much to go through. 2-1 Roma.
2-1 Roma, so 2 away goals to Roma. I do think there will be goals. These are the two most entertaining teams, and they're not necessarily the best defenses. Zaniola being missing for Roma, I think it's going to go to Ajax 3-2, leaving a very tense game in the next leg. Arsenal Slavia Prague, what do you think?
Arsenal to Slavia Prague 0.
I think you're on the right lines. I'm going to say 3-0 because I honestly can't say the same score as you. Dinamo Zagreb against Villarreal. What do you think?
I think Dinamo Zagreb can actually do 1 goal against them.
A 1-0 win. I'm thinking they can do 1 goal against them too, and I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. All games, by the way, in Europe for a change, being played in the actual venues of the teams that are hosting them. So, moving on from these, we'll see our scores in the
Oh, you
next
forgot
section.
Ronaldo and Man United.
Oh, I did. Or did I? Who can say, Redmond? Who can say? Granada against Manchester United. What do you think the score is going to be?
3-0 Man United. They're the favourites. But they can do a good win against them.
They're better away from home than they are at home, but they're so spotty it's hard to say. I'm going to say 2-1 to Manchester United. Granada maybe out on the round, but my God, they might be able to rock them in the next game. So let us jump careful now. Jump forward and look at section 2. So we have 4 games here. You can see in the women's Europe. Could you please stop leaning on me? It's very sore seeing as I have to lean down anyway. I set this up for you, you know. I could have had this higher, so it'd be easier for me. The Czech Republic plays Switzerland in the European qualifications for the UEFA Women's Championships. We've got the second leg of the Uruguayan final. We also missed that at the weekend. But you know what? We're talking about it now, so it's not too bad. We've got the Recopa Sudamericana. And we've got Juventus against Napoli in the Serie A of Italy. So let's jump around and have a look at some of these ones. So we'll start with the Czech Republic against Switzerland. It's the playoff, the second leg. This is the playoff to get into the Euros. They both finished second in their group. Czechia were runners-up to Spain, Switzerland to Belgium. Arguably, Switzerland had the tougher group with the Belgians in there. And the second leg of these games will take place next week. Redmond, Czechia against Switzerland.
1-0 Czechia.
Okay, I think Switzerland probably have a little bit more than them. It's hard to know, especially with the teams that aren't at the very top of the women's game in Europe. So I'm going to say it's 2-1 to Switzerland with 2 valuable away goals. We'll have a look next at Rentistas against Nacional. They've already lost the first leg 3-0. So anything here is a bonus. They did win the Apertura final against Nacional, winning 1-0 after extra time. They drew the Clausura game 1-1, but they lost. But that first leg win for Nacional is the first win they've had over Rentistas since 2015. There've only been 3 games in the in-between, between then and then. But still, Redmond, what do you think is going to happen?
0-0.
So Nacional win 3-0. I think they're actually going to get a goal in Rentistas' ground, and it'd be a 4-0 on aggregate, 1-0 to Rentistas. Looking at the Recopa Sudamericana, we'll have a quick look at the Defensa y Justicia against Palmeiras. I can never do it right or do it justice. So this is basically the South American Super Cup, and this is the first leg of it. Defensa y Justicia are there on the back of winning the Copa Sudamericana, and please don't lean. But they just lost this weekend to Boca Juniors. There's been no game for Palmeiras in 2 weeks. There've been 3 games postponed in that time. Brazilian football is dabbling in the regional championships right now, while Argentina is in full swing, which means that Palmeiras are not playing the best teams available to them. What do you think, Redmond? First legs in Argentina, then Defensa y Justicia against Palmeiras.
Palmeiras 1. Defensa y Justicia 0.
So 1-0 win to the away team. I think they will score one, but I think they're going to lose. I think Defensa Justicia have a better amount of football played under them lately, and they haven't had to recover from the humiliation against ALeague and Tigres in the World Club Championships. Finally, the big one for both of us, Juventus against Napoli, taking place tomorrow night. It is 4th against 5th. Both are on 56 points, 2 behind Atalanta, but with a game in hand. This is major for the Champions League places. Juventus should not be here, but they are. After a poor performance against Benevento, against Torino, who they haven't lost to in like 5 or 6 years, there are rumours. There are always rumours among the Juventini. What are you at?
I was just trying to do this.
There are rumours that this is Pirlo's last game in charge if he fails to win. Please, thank you. It is rumoured that Igor Tudor will take over. Please, could we stop? Tudor will take over if they lose. I don't want that. That's my take on it. What do you want? Do you want to see Pirlo stay in charge of Juve?
Maybe.
Wow, definitive. An interesting thing about this game is this was cancelled earlier in the seasons when Napoli did not travel because of COVID issues. Supposedly, Juve lined out on the day, and Napoli had even announced a team to travel, but they didn't go. So it should have been awarded to Juve, but for whatever reason, Serie A decided, no, we'll replay it. So this makes everything a little bit sticky. Redmond, Juve against Napoli. What's the score going to be?
1-1.
1-1 draw. Ooh, that won't. Will that be enough for Pirlo? I think Juve are going to win 2-1, prolonging perhaps the inevitable. I don't know. Napoli are not quite as good as one would expect. Maybe I don't know. Who can say? Who can tell? Right. Finally, on to our last round, and it is.
The champions.
Yeah, it's the Champions League. So, I could probably push this up. No, I can't push it up much. There we go. So I'm not. Please don't do that. That's really upsetting for people who are listening. Don't be. If you don't want listeners, do that. You know, there's one person viewing. They're probably going, "Oh, my ears." Anyway, 4 games. Real against Liverpool and Manchester City against Dortmund, both tonight at 21 hours Central European Time, all times Central European Time.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Bayern Munich against Paris Saint-Germain and Porto against Chelsea. So to run through these teams and games very, very quickly if I can. First up, Liverpool are back on track after a win against Arsenal and a couple of draws and another win. Real Madrid are also back in the hunt for La Liga after Atletico Madrid lost at the weekend. None of the first choice halves are available for either side. Liverpool's problems are well documented, whereas Ramos and Varane are also out for Real, and he is going to be a major, major loss, Ramos. As regards Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund, poor performance and poor result for Dortmund at the weekend, hosting Frankfurt, who won 2-1. You'd expect this to be a stroll for Manchester City, but have they really faced any tough trials in the Champions League yet? Arguably, Porto is the best team they've played, the biggest team certainly. With Bayern against Paris Saint-Germain, either of these teams should be really the favourite for the Champions League. Never mind Manchester City, who I think are more is expected of them than is fair.
Yeah, one of those teams who go through basically mean they're gonna win it.
Yeah, they should.
They have no big problems except for some big teams like they have actually no big teams.
Okay.
They can just smash through it.
Well, that doesn't guarantee them winning the Champions League.
Yes.
But you'd expect either of them to be a favourite. But there's a lot of big players out tonight. We've got Lewandowski, Douglas Costa and Tolisso are missing for Bayern, while Florenzi, Verratti and Icardi are all missing for Paris Saint-Germain. The last Paris Saint-Germain win between these two teams, and there's only been like 2 or 3 games since, was in 2017 in a home tie in the Champions League group stages.
Wow.
Finally, of the 4 teams, 4 games, Porto against Chelsea. If you like the Mourinho derby.
Oh, we forgot to tell it what our
We're going to do the scores at the end. We're going to go through the games first and then do the scores like we did with the Europa League. Both of these teams are kind of also rans, to be completely honest with you. Chelsea are fancied thanks to Thomas Tuchel, and probably rightly so. He has made a huge change there.
And also Christian Pulisic.
Yes, he also plays for them. Porto, meanwhile, are about 8 points behind in Portuguese league, having Sporting slipped up last night and drawn in the last minute of the game. Chelsea have slipped out of the Champions League spots after losing 6-2 to West Brom, but it's very, very tight for those last remaining Champions League spot or 2 in England. Redmond, going down through the games. Real against Liverpool.
Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 2.
Why do you always do it backwards?
I don't know.
I'm intrigued. I think it's going to be 2-2 in that game myself. Liverpool benefiting by 2 away goals, but neither side having a strong defence. Manchester City against Borussia Dortmund.
2-1 to Man City.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there. I think it could be 3-0, in fact. Dortmund did not look good at the weekend. Bayern Munich against Paris Saint-Germain.
1-1, 1-all.
A 1-all draw there. I think it's going to be Bayern 1, Paris Saint-Germain 2. I think the absence of Lewandowski and of Tolisso in the centre, as well as, who's the other one who's missing? I can't remember. Douglas Costa is going to rob Munich of their speed down the wings and their power. But Paris Saint-Germain, based on what I saw against Barcelona, I think they're going to go all out and get a couple of goals up early on. Finally, Porto against Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
2-1. I'm going to go with 1-0 to Chelsea as well. I think it's a fairly clear thing. I missed out on mentioning our goal of the week. It's Spezia's goal in their 2-1 loss to Lazio from Verde. It's an amazing overhead volley. I'll show you that.
Yes, and if you would like, you can watch it.
Yes, you may watch it if you wish. But if you don't wish to, you do not have to watch it. I'll show you that in a minute or two, though. But this, Redmond, is a record-breaking... How long have we been? 23 minutes. We've nearly cut the show down to a time that people could watch. Have you anything to say before we go?
Bye, everyone, on Redmond's Football Report.
Okay, sudden as that. Take care, folks. We'll see you on Friday at 18 hours Central European time.